Berkeley County Planning Commission is considering a new zoning ordinance that would allow a developer to build on smaller plots of land. Live 5's Maitane Oroway has more on what they plan to do.
Eastwood Homes hopes to take advantage of a possible new zoning called transitional agricultural zoning, which they say would help them conserve land while building houses. The county says the request involves more than 200 acres to build about 147 subdivision rentals. The new transitional agricultural zoning saves at least 50% of conservation space, allowing for a number of homes to be built on a smaller amount of land. But that still concerns some residents.
At the end of the day, it's the same number of residents that are going to be using our existing infrastructure.
She says the county needs to improve things before more people come.
There's no intention of improving our roads out here because truthfully we are not built for that development, and that development is not intended to come out.
She says that they are skipping over a step that makes this process happen way too fast.
Now we've worked on the zoning and we've gotten to today with this new zoning type, and the moratorium does not apply. That's by far the most concerning part.
County Council discussed the zoning last night but postponed a decision. This doesn't affect the Planning Commission discussing the developer's request today. They can still make a recommendation that Council will later vote on. If the Commission makes a request at tonight's meeting, it will go to the Land Use Committee for review on September 14th. In Moncks Corner, Maitane Oroway, Live 5 News.